Today in Smackey's Garage, we're going to be using ForceScan to enable global windows on this 2018 F-150. Alright, so this here's my 2018 F-150, and we're going to enable global windows. What global windows is it allows you to use your key fob, like this, to open the windows without having the car running or without being near the truck. So all we have to do to use global windows is, with this completely unlocked, so the truck being completely unlocked, you just have to push this and hold this down, and then it should put the windows down in the front. And to do the same thing, all I have to do is, after you lock it, you can hold this down again for a few seconds, and it should just put the windows up. Now I found global windows comes in useful a few different ways for me. I'd say probably the main use case that I use is when I'm leaving for work in the morning. If it's extremely hot and I've left the sunroof open and I know the truck is going to be cooking inside, I'll actually put the windows down in the driveway just so that the truck can cool off a little bit and I don't have to be cooking when I get in it. And it's nice to do that. On the put them back up side, I don't really use it that much. I'd say when I park the car, I always put the windows back up. Usually if I'm rolling down the windows with global windows, I'm getting in the car next. But we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna show you how to enable that. Now, one more thing to note about these trucks. I've noticed this on the 2018s, and some different model years are different, but when you enable on the 2018s, only the front seem to work. I haven't been able to get the back ones working. So with that, go ahead, you try this at your own risk. We're gonna be in the as-built format for a few different areas of ForceScan. So as usual, make sure you save everything and you save before you go ahead and make any modifications. So let's go ahead, let's jump into using ForceScan to make these changes. Now to make this work, you're gonna need a few different things. One, you're gonna need a computer that's running Windows. The other, you're gonna need an OBDLink cable, such as this one here. I highly recommend this one. I know it works. It is more expensive, but I've never had any issues with it. So I'll link this one down in the description below if you want to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our OBDLink cable and we're going to go ahead and plug it into our OBD port underneath. Now you see the light turn to green. That means I can go to my computer. Now to do this, we're going to use a program that's called ForceScan. So up here on the top left, I'm going to run that. And it essentially is a way that you can reconfigure your truck. Now let's go ahead, let's connect to the vehicle. So I'm going to click down here and connect. After we're connected, I'm going to hit yes. It'll connect. It'll ask you, is this your truck? So I'm currently driving a F-150. I should note, it's important to have the key in before you start up. Now within this, it's going to read all the different modules, and what we're going to do is we're going to have to change a few different things. We're going to have to change something in the body control module, the passenger door module, and then the driver door module. I'm going to walk through the steps to do each one of these. Now I have tried doing this outside of the as-built format, so there is a nice UI where you can go in and enable global windows and enable the different windows. I haven't been successful doing it this way. The only way I've been able to do it on my 2018 is using the as-built format. So while it would be nice to be able to just use the UI and do it, I just haven't been able to make it work. So I'm going to show you the way that I did it to make it work for my truck. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the body control module. Now, when you get in ForceScan, you're going to want to jump into the body control module and you want to go into the as-built format. I wasn't able to get the other one working with a UI, so this is the one that we're going to have to work in. Now, the first thing we're going to have to change, we're going to scroll down to the 726-17-01, and we're going to change it to what's on the screen to the right. So 0101, 0101, 014A. Then we're going to go down to the next one, 726-1702, and we're going to change that one to 0101, 0101, 014B. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and write them. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to scroll all the way down until we find 726-30-01. Now we're going to make an adjustment to this one just the same way that we did the other ones, and you need to make sure that it matches what's on the screen here. So 0101, 4 zeros, then 0060. If that's all set, then you can go ahead and move on to the next step. Now, for the next step, we're going to go to the driver door module. So going back to the configuration and programming, we're going to select the DDM as built format, and then we're going to go ahead and run it. And then within this, we're going to look for 740-05-01, and and we're going to make sure that it starts with a D. Now, you can see there it's DA00, so since it starts with a D, we're good. If it doesn't, just replace that first letter with a D. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the passenger door module, as built format, run it. Then we're going to look for the next number, which is 741-05-01, and then we're also going to make sure that this one starts with a D. Now, it's important you do it the same way as you do the other one. You write it when you're done, and then you should be all set. All right, then after you make those changes, you are all set. You should be able to just use your remote or your key fob to use the global windows on the truck. Now, a little bit of nuance after you've gotten all the setup. Play around with it a little bit, make sure you understand how it works. Let me know down in the comments if this worked for you. Thanks for tuning in this week on Smackey's Garage.